Hello again, guys. Welcome to Otto's Garage. There it is. We've painted all the zinc primer now inside the engine bay and underneath the car. We've got it up on the sill stands again, and now we're just doing some final filler prep and then hopefully getting it ready for a bit of primer. Okay, so I've been on this pretty much all day, just doing some sanding and some refilling and flattening off again, and filling up any little holes where we might have had welds and things like that. So, you know, like for example down here on the floor, we just kind of refilled those, just so it looks nice when it's going to be painted at the end. Been over the cage with some 180 paper just to try and give that a good key, and basically all over the inside as well. Still got to do the floor yet and give that a keying off and just take off some of the nibs off the original etch primer from the tank when it was dipped. But basically been all over the cage, done the rear arches. The rear arch I wasn't happy with, there was still some pinholes in there, so I've had to refill some of those and then reflat it off. But if you think it's going to be a quick job doing some of these things, it just takes forever. So we've had two of us on it all day. We've probably spent about 12 man hours on it, I think, today, something like that. But anyway, I think we're pretty much there now. All around the back, we've refilled all the back here. Well, this was smashed in when it had a rear end shunt at some stage. And then there's also a corner up on the roof on one of the previous videos we showed there. So that's all been refilled and sanded back again. And then you just take it in gradual stages with the sanding. So that's finished off with something like I think there's a 240 on there now. We're going to prime it with 2K, and then when the primer's on, we should be able to then flat that off, probably with something like a 400, something like that. Give it another coat of primer, flat it again, and then we'll be good to go with some white, hopefully. So the next job really is to get it all cleaned inside, airline, vacuum, because there's obviously quite a lot of residual powder and stuff at the moment from when we've been sanding, and then clean it all off with some degreaser and get some paint on it. Okay, so the day's arrived and we are now looking at some paint, which is cool. So what we've got here is just a quick run through. Got a bit of a suit to stop the old paint getting on me and everywhere else where it shouldn't go. Proper mask for basically the respirator there, which is geared up for spraying this 2K paint. Now I know if I was doing this every day, day in day out, then I'd probably want a ventilated proper breathing apparatus for it, but we're just doing this as a quick one basically. So that should be up to the job. That's been supplied by the people that have supplied the paint system anyway, so that's got the correct filters on it. In this box got some stirring sticks. We've got some filters for actually putting the paint into the gun. Bit of masking tape there. Not really that interested in that at the moment because obviously we haven't got anything to mask up on the car, it's just the shell. That's the container that goes on the top of the gun. Got a very nice burst gun here. It's a very nice bit of kit that. It's well made, and it's got a good set of instructions that have come with it as well. So that's off eBay, but basically it's the same people that have supplied the air compressor Burish. So but very nice. You can just feel the quality without even using that. So I think that is going to be fairly good and up to the job. Some little paint mixing tubs there, and they're all graduated, so you can see how much hardener and how much paint goes in there with how much thinner. So that's quite cool. And then you've got the extra fast hardener itself, and we've got some high build primer, which is going to be going down as the base coat with it, and then a bit of degreaser, so that's just for basic wiping down before we go. However, once we've done the wiping down, then I bought a load of these tack cloths. So these are really good for just getting the last bits of dirt and dust off before you actually put the paint on, so that's quite cool for that. I just bought a ruck of those, and then we can just chuck them away each time we use one. So let's get some paint sorted out, and we'll see how we get on. I'm going to spray the bottom of the car first, and the main reason for that is so that I can get used to how the equipment's working. And if there's anything dodgy down there, hopefully it won't be seen, and the good stuff will be on the top afterwards. But we'll see how we get on with it. Well, this is what it's like when you're wearing the correct stuff, basically. I'm lucky today because it's not particularly hot. However, I have got a space heater, so we have managed to warm the workshop up. Hang on a minute. Okay, so what I've done basically is I've laid down that first coat of primer on the bottom of the car, and it has been, it's gone on really well. I'm really pleased with that. So what I'm going to do now is move the car sideways, clean off the other bits that I can get to from the other side while it's still on its side, and then I'll have a go at spraying the other side. So I've done basically all of the underside, and then what I can get to on the inside of the bulkhead and up into that front arch up there as well. So I'll move it across, have a cup of tea first though, and then we'll have a go at spraying some more on the other side of it. So the next job is, with the car on its side, I'm going to climb inside and we're going to have a go at doing the cage and the floor and everything in there basically. So I just got an extra little light just to get a bit more illumination inside, and I've degreased everything in there and we're tacked off and we're ready to go. So I'm going to get my mask on and get the paint, which is already mixed, into the gun, and then I'll get that sprayed.
In other news,
So we've had a delivery and it's front brakes. This is the bell which bolts onto the hub. These are from Comp Brake. Nice gear. I mean, it's just fantastically well fabricated. But basically, yeah, that's the bell. So it's a floating disc bolts onto that. That goes onto the hub, and there's another one in there. And then basically you get your caliper, and we've got one. Here's one that I prepared earlier. So basically we've got a nice, quite a large 4-pot caliper on that, all alley, quite light indeed. I mean, you know, if you took a cast iron equivalent or a steel equivalent, it would be really quite heavy. So that's quite a nice bit of kit. Not too flash. I didn't want to go with, oh, you've got red calipers or anything like that. So we've just got basically nice black calipers, and it will do the job, I'm sure. I think the discs are 305mm. They're in the bottom of the box. I'm not going to dig them out at the moment. But yeah, that's all pretty cool. So at least we can get the brakes on when we get a bit further down the road. But for now, it's concentration on the paint. Right guys, I've just got to flip the car one more time on its side, and then I can get and do that last, like under the arch and just the other bits that you can't quite see. I must admit, I really wouldn't like to paint this without being on the spit. It's just been so handy, just being able to flip it over each time. So let's just go and have a quick look at it, and then we'll see how much more we've got to do. Okay, so here it is. Well, basically, all I've got to do now is just flip it over so this side is up, and then I can get into the under the arch on that side, and then away we go basically. Whew. Well, I'm glad to have that off. It's been pretty warm inside that mask, but now we have got ourselves a primed shell. So I just flicked it right over on its roof so that at least we could get to the underside of all those bits in the cage that you just can't get to otherwise. But basically, I've managed to get the whole thing with a couple of coats on it now, so that's pretty good. So the next stage is going to be basically to get that block sand it off again, get it nice and flat where we need to. I mean, obviously I'm not going to waste too much time in places like the arches and the underside, but certainly it needs to be nice and smooth on the cage, and obviously where we've got exterior panels, the roof and stuff like that, and the back arches. So I'm going to have a go at block sanding on that when she's dried off, and then we'll clean it back again, and then we're going to be getting into getting some white paint on it, and we're going with the old Fiat Ducati 210, which is classic Lancia white. Happy days indeed. Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to sign off now. So hopefully next time we'll be getting some white paint on it. But in the meantime, stay safe. Thanks for watching Otto's Garage. See you later.
Bye bye!